Mario Golf has been around for a while, but one overlooked entry in this series might be Mario Golf on Game Boy Color, which released in 1999 after being developed by Camelot. The same development company also worked on Mario Golf on Nintendo 64, another 1999 release. Undoubtedly, that is the more famous entry of the two Mario Golf titles from 1999. But video game golf fans should not underestimate Mario Golf on Game Boy Color. For those who don't own the old handheld anymore, the game is available for Switch Online members through the Game Boy app, and there is more to the series entry than one might think. At first, it didn't seem that deep. When the player chooses the one-player play option, there are blacked out boxes on the left, and Mario and Luigi are ready-to-go characters on the right. Naturally, I decided to check out Mario. There are not many options after picking Mario or Luigi though. Either the player can pick a practice round or training, and then there are 4 different courses available for practice round. That's it. I was left wondering, where are the tournament or match play modes found in other Mario Golf games? I wanted to unlock all the other Mario related characters, like in the Nintendo 64 version where you can do match play and unlock those characters. Perhaps the developers could have gotten away with a bare bones package like this since it's a Game Boy title, but then I decided to check out the create a character option, which is what the blacked out boxes represent. Apparently, there's a tournament mode and more when choosing the create a character option on the left side of the character selection screen. In fact, the create a character option turns the game into a full-blown RPG, where one gets to walk around the clubhouse talking to various characters while looking at graphics that feel similar to the famous Pokemon series. Inside the clubhouse, there are also characters that can be unlocked by challenging them to match play, which simply means the player needs to win more holes than the opponent. Of course, the tournaments make it the main part of the RPG mode of Mario Golf. The player starts off first in the Marin Club tournament, and when that tournament is won, the player earns experience points and can upgrade their character's various stats. Then the player can branch out onto other courses that can be found on the world map, which is yet another feature that makes the overall experience in this series entry feel like an RPG. Each golf course has their own official club tournament for the player to win, along with the same assortment of practice areas and NPCs to talk to before taking on the tournament. Once players get into the golf rounds, it feels like Mario Golf 64 from a golf swing mechanical standpoint. Both Mario Golf on Nintendo 64 and on here use the 3-click system, where a meter moves left at the click of a button, and the player can decide how far to hit the shot depending on where the button is pressed as it moves left. And then the player must hit the same button again when the meter returns right, and that decides if it's a well-struck shot. In addition, players can get an overhead view of the hole when setting up the shot and picking where to aim. Make sure to take into consideration the wind, trees, and the club being used. Golf is a tricky game, and this game does get the feeling right of including the strategic parts of a golf round, along with the process of hitting the actual shot through the 3-click system. Although the graphics might seem primitive by now, it gets the job done on the Game Boy Color platform. At least it has the behind the golfer view, and one can see the ball fly off into the distance before it switches to the overhead view for the final shot of where the ball lands. As for the music, it's good for the most part. The music feels catchy as it should be for a Mario game, even if it's a Mario Golf game. With most non-Nintendo golf games, the ambience of the golf course is preferable to music during the round, but with Mario Golf, it's more appropriate to play some music and keep the casual player interested. To enjoy this game fully though, one must enjoy golf. If you enjoy both golf and Mario, then this is a great game to enjoy on the Game Boy Color or Game Boy app using Switch Online. No, this game does not ever turn into a platformer. Bowser doesn't come and try to destroy the clubhouse or anything. The only reason I thought of that just now is because Bowser is an option to destroy a city in the original SimCity. But there isn't anything too wild that happens here. There aren't even any wild Mario parties in the clubhouse. Is Mario even in the clubhouse? Again, the core of this game is straight up golf, even with the RPG mode present. With all that in mind, I'd probably give this game an 8 out of 10. At this point, the graphics have aged, and players might be left wanting to play Mario Golf on Nintendo 64, or perhaps a newer Mario Golf, like the one on GameCube or 3DS. If the primitive graphics are not a problem though, then expect a surprisingly deep game for the Game Boy platform. This game will not only tide over golf fans on car trips, but it will keep them playing long afterwards.